Proud to present Professor Ali Harlin.
So my topic is on a cost benefit of using wood-based material in packaging. And what is the motivation on this is that in a big perspective, there is more and more wood available for wood products. And particularly the climate change is increasing the growth of the wood, and there are new resources taken in the use. So only in Finland we are speaking about a surplus of 30 million cubic meter. So that starts to be when turned to the products, close to 10% of all the plastic consumption in the world. So worldwide we have a lot of raw material to be looked at, and that's coming from the sustainable resources, not affecting on the production on the fields. Typically the wood production or wood products produces also a lot of different kind of size streams, which is as well increasing the amount of benefiting of this raw material source, plus that it will stabilize the price of the cellulose for the applications like packaging. The great benefit out of the wood resources is that we can combine the natural recycling of CO2 in nature to a recycling of the material streams in the industry. So actually the fiber materials is the only packaging material which is truly circulating in the industry and in a commerce. There are several myths related to the packaging, so that the packaging size, no, typically the problem is that we should be able to optimize the packaging size for the consumption. Otherwise we are buying too much, and when we have say losses there, there is a concern that the packaging is a huge environmental concern, but the real concern is what we are packaging, so that if we are causing losses on unpacked or too low packed material, we will have a problem. So we can focus on the proper packaging to sustain the raw materials which we are used for the actual product. So the minimizing of a packaging material is not the ultimate target. It's always good to minimize the material usage, but if we go to the infinity on it, it will cause a bigger losses. And some packaging material are much more ecological than the others. Is not totally right. So the real issue is that the material use can be more ecological, and all the material has strengths and weaknesses. And biomaterial typically have the weakness on that their performance is not as high as the fossil-based plastic material or aluminum or glass. But at the same time, we have to admit we can do a lot of things technically to bring them on the same level. So if we have a few cases, like here we have a material recycling of a fiber-based in Finland. So we can recycle up to 93% of a corrugated board packaging. It's possible to recycle 75% of the industrial-based packaging, 25% of carton papers, and light liquid packaging board about 40%. So this gives up average rate of 76% of recycling, and this is reached already in the Nordic countries, and so I can say it's reachable elsewhere as well. So we can say the recycling is really there. And so where the high recycling of a corrugated packaging is coming, so that it's involved all the value chain elements in this recycling. So it's not only consumers, but it's also industry and retailers who are as well using a lot of packaging, and their process is benefiting on this recycling. Another case which I would like to share with you is transfer packaging, and there is why wooden pallets are not used anymore so much. There is a problem with the pesticides and the weight of the wood packages, as well the space and on it. And there is a new kind of fiber-based packaging like this, which is for a track, electronic device track, and this product has the same features as the wood package, but it's much lighter, much less space consuming, and fulfilling the same requirements, and it's fully recyclable. And third alternate example which I would like to share is the, say, modified atmosphere packaging, which is used for packaging sliced cheese or ham or kind of, say, ready foods. So if we look at, say, the combination of the packaging weight, so we can see that the fully plastic polyester alternative is reasonably high weight if we compare the same made out of a carton. And here we have to remember that the carton is fully recyclable, and only the outmost layer is the barrier layer has to be taken in account, while this multi-layer plastic system is not recyclable at all. And if we look at the idea of a map package here, the importance of the resources we have invested on the raw material is overruling. So if we have a high level of product like ham or cheese, which is sliced, so that is like several times higher impact than the actual packaging. And if we look at then these small packaging fractions, and we look at the impact on the, if we use just say bio-based plastics. So in bio-based plastics there is not too much of differentiation between on a carbon footprint. So the outcome is that we need a little bit plastic to keep it tight, and to add preferably a lot of fiber material to make it more sustainable. This is another way to look at the same thing, so that the first column here we have a plastic, the whole for a certain amount of ham, footprint for a certain amount of ham compared to that of a carton-based package. So we see that there is really a market differentiation, and it's coming quite some of the material, but as well from the production itself. And on a waste management side, there is a market surpluses available from the recyclable materials. So I would like to thank you for your interest on the topic, and I emphasize that the future of fiber-based packaging is very sustainable and as well affordable. Thank you.